So I'm just heading down to the train station. I've got a 2.5 hour train journey going down to a little village. I'm not going to even try and pronounce it, on the borderline with England and Wales. I think it's just in Wales actually. So let's see how it goes and see if it's any good and see if it hopefully brings me back into Northampton in one piece. So I'm in a lovely village called Welsh Pool. It's very, very close to the Welsh, North Wales and the English border. And this is what we picked up. So this is our latest purchase, guys. So it's a 2012 Suzuki SX4. This one's a 4x4, so it's the very first 4x4 car that we're going to have in stock, and I thought that would be quite a good selling point for anyone that's looking for a 4x4. It's a nice little, well looked after example. Again, I've took the risk of travelling all the way up from Northampton. It was about a 3-hour train journey to buy the car. Hopefully it will get me back to Northampton in one piece. Seems like a genuine example. Sellers seemed really genuine. The girl only had it, they bought it from their local, someone in their local village. She only had it for a month. She used to have a Suzuki Swift, but then she wanted something different, so she went for this, but then realised this was a bit too big for her, so I think she's going back to a Suzuki Swift. So good selling points on this car is it's got all 4 matching winter tyres. They have given me 3 standard normal tyres there, which is a boosty bonus. So I might, oh, that one, and they seem in really good condition. Look at that one there, it's got loads of tread on there, almost a brand new tyre there. So which I'll keep just in case I need tyres for other cars that I'm gonna sell on. It's got a tow bar if you ever want to tow anything along on this. Rear reversing, parking sensors, all the alloy wheels, good condition. It's got the funky red brake calipers, which make it look quite cool. So this is one of the first cars I've had where it's actually keyless entry. You've got 2 keys, it's keyless entry, so you don't even need to click the button to open the door. As long as you've got the key in your pocket, you can just press that button there and it opens up the door. Going on to the inside of the car, it seems well looked after. No major tears or rips on the interior. On the back seats, quite cool. They lift up, they fold down and they lift up, so gives you a decent, hopefully you can see that, a decent space for storage and lugging stuff around. So let's have a look at some of the service history and some of the specs within the car. So what we've got, if I turn the little ignition thing there, we've got 77,000 miles on the clock. Let me just switch off the radio before I get a copyright strike. So 77,000 miles on the clock, almost 78,000. These are change driven engines, so that's all good. No worries about comeback changes. Radio, all of that is all working. You've got your 12-volt valve for your cigarette lighter connections and your USB and all that kind of stuff. I think this down here is a switch for the 4x4. I've never had a 4x4 before, so I need to look into that. All electrics were working. The air conditioning, the girl didn't even try the air conditioning in the month. She only had the car for a month. She hadn't never tried the air conditioning. I tested it and it wasn't working, so I got a bit of money knocked off for that. All the electrics, like I said, they were working. Ring mirrors, electric windows, all good, all working. So if you go to the paperwork, one of the downsides on this car is it's got quite a few number of keepers. So it's got 5. I was told it was 4 in total, but it's actually 5 plus a current keeper, so it's 6 in total. So that's a bit of a bummer, but it's no biggie. 2 of them were in the same family. So they bought it from someone in the village, and that person registered it to themselves. It was their brother's car, who sadly passed away. And because he was going to sell the car and stuff, he registered it to himself, which necessarily didn't need to. But he did that, which added a additional owner on the car, unfortunately. So in terms of paperwork, we've got loads of receipts here, as you can see, MOT receipts and stuff. The service history is pretty decent. So let's have a look at the service history. Maintenance plan. So we've got 2012. It's been like a PDI, 13. There's a gap there. So from 13 to 19, we don't have any paperwork, unfortunately. And then we've got 2023. So it's literally just had a good service. Oil filter, bottom arm. So as far as I can remember, this one now has advisory free MOT, which is always a good selling point. So just been serviced, got advisory free MOT, so that's all good. So let me just lift the bonnet up. There we go. So we've got a service sticker there for the last people that serviced it at 71, saying it was next due at 76. So we've got it. The previous customers I've got it from did do it at 77. So they did it on time. In terms of the engine, nothing really worth to note, to be honest. This seems like a genuine example. I've checked the engine oil, carb, checked the engine levels. It's just been serviced, so it's all good. Check the coolant level, and the coolant colour looks all to be in order. Everything looks genuine to me. So let's pop that down. So what do you guys think, guys, of my latest purchase? In terms of the bodywork, sorry, I'll just go through the bodywork. Obviously needs quick clean and stuff, refresh. But nothing to note, to be honest. All in good condition. No major marks, scratches. So it all looks all in good nick. Panel gaps and all of that look right. It's a bit loose there, I think. Was that how it's supposed to be? Maybe a bit loose there. But nothing to worry about, really. I'll get my mechanic to push that back in. I'll push that back in myself. So I think just... There we go. Click that's come loose. I'll push that back in now. That looks better. In terms of the roof, the car, there's always one spot that I always forget to check. No marks on there. Cardiff Suzuki at the front, on the back, sorry. There's Cardiff Suzuki number plates at the front, so that's a good sign. There's no number plates have been changed, so it goes to show there's potentially it has not had any bumps in the back or at the front of the car. So let me know, guys, what you think. So it's a 3-hour journey up here and it's about a 2.5 hour journey back. It's about 5.5, 6 hour journey. Was it worth it? Oh, there's a little scrape there. I don't know if you can, so minor, you can't really see it in the camera, but that'll polish out. A bit of polish. So yeah, like I was saying, guys, 5.5 hour, 6 hour journey. What do you think? Was it a wasted trip? Was it worth it? It's got decent margin in this one, hopefully. So I think I'll just get it. Obviously, got a nice journey back now, 2.5 hour journey back. Will give me a good chance to see what the car's like. And then once we get it back, if it's all driving fine, to get it validated, I'll get it potentially get a safety check done on it if I do hear any knocks and bangs, and then see if there's any work that needs to be done. But it's just had an MOT, so you think it should be all good. Then just get it validated, do the pictures, do a walk around video. Hopefully this will be a nice quick flip. So stay tuned and let's see how we get on with this and all the other cars that we have on the channel. Before I head back to the Hampton, I just wanted to show you guys some of the views that I will be enjoying. on the way back to my journey, back to Northampton. Look how nice and picturesque that is. This is one of the reasons why I love doing what I do, getting out and about, especially when the weather's nice like this, seeing beautiful parts of the country, buying cars, driving cars, enjoying cars, and hopefully making a business out of it. So I got back to Northampton a little while ago and the car drove spot on. So 2.5 hour journey and it didn't overheat, no rattles, no bangs, it was all good. The only thing I noticed was the steering is slightly out. I did notice the near side front tyre pressure is a bit low, so it could be just that, or it might need alignment done on that, the tracking, but that's not too bad overall, considering the age of the vehicle. So that's all good. I remembered where the little scratches were on the car. It was just here. I don't know if you can see. That's the only scratches I can see on the car, and apart from that little bumper bit on the near side that I showed you earlier, but that will polish out as best as I can. I'll get that polished. Apart from that, it drove really well. I'm happy with this purchase. I'm going to get it validated and get it up for sale. So it's Saturday afternoon. I had a call and an inquiry on the Kia Venga Automatic that we had parked over here. Customers local to Northampton, so I've let them go on a test drive themselves. They're familiar with the local area, so let's see what they come back with and let's see if they like the car. It's bank holiday Monday for the King's coronation. However, the work still continues. I've come across a car that I'm interested in, so I'm just going to head over there and check it out. So let's see if it's any good. So this is what we picked up yesterday, guys. It's a 2014 Vauxhall Mocha SE. This one's a 1.7 diesel. Comes in this really nice blue. I think it looks pretty smart. You've got these kind of gunmetal grey alloys, which I think look good against a blue bodywork. So when I went to test drive the car, there's a few things I noticed with the car which wasn't described by the seller, and there was an additional previous owner on the logbook which we weren't made aware of. So that was all kind of a part of the negotiation process. It was almost a 2-hour journey by the time I got there, so it was a bit of a shame if I didn't get the car. So I had to do a bit of haggling and get the price down based on what they did and didn't tell me on the car. But overall, I'm happy with this. It drove back really nice. It's an SE spec, so it's good level of spec. So let's have a look at what's some of the spec that we got in the car. So we've got full leather interior, which is pretty smart. It needs a good valet. Got the original mats there. So you got cruise control, audio controls. The main reason I got this bad boy was because of this. So it's an automatic, and we know how in demand automatics are at the moment. So hopefully this will sell and it will turn out to be a decent piece of stock. You just get the key out and then start the ignition. So we've got, I think 70-odd thousand miles, 73,000 miles on the clock. This is one of the issues with the car. So when you turn ignition, the wipers just go up halfway and you have to like turn them down manually. And then when you start the car, they do it again. And it stopped now. So it's a bit random. I've had a look online and it's to do with the, well, from what I've seen, it's to do with the windscreen wiper motor. There's a little plastic cog in there which potentially gets worn and snaps, so we might need to replace that, but I'll get my mechanic to have a look at that. But apart from that, overall it's in pretty good condition. Air conditioning again wasn't working, so hopefully it's not a leak. It's just a top up that we need to do on that one. But what else was I going to show you guys? So we've got heated seats, which is nice, and we have heated steering wheel, which is, I've never had a car with heating steering wheel, which is nice, and that does all work. Heated seats all work, which is good. It's got electric seats, front seats, which are a nice touch. So it's good spec level of car. The plastic trimmer here has worn and cracked, and quite a bit of the plastic has come off. Hopefully you can see that in the camera. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with that. I might just have to leave it as is, or try and get some plastic and try and wrap it over that. I've had a look. Actually, I might take them to my body shop, see what they can do. I've had a look online, and the replacement one of these is like almost £200 on eBay. So that's a bit much just for a bit of aesthetics. So I'm going to try and see if I can do a fix on top of that rather than replacing the whole thing. But yeah, apart from needing a good amount of cleaning, the headline is all a bit marked and that. It's not too bad of a car. Let's have a look at the back of the vehicle. All leather interior, which is all in good condition, to be fair, for the age of the vehicle. And in the boot, let's go to the boot. Decent sized boot, but no spare tyre or jack, so we'd have to do something about that. There was a dent, there is a dent, I should say. I don't know if I can show you guys in this door, which I knew about. I didn't really appreciate how big it was. Can you see that dent there? So let's see if I can get my dent man out to try and pull that out. But I might get this door painted or replace the door, because we've got quite a big scratch there. So I'm gonna see how much it is for a replacement door, or get the door painted and repaired. Let's think about that. The front mudguard here is broken, snapped, so we have to replace that mudguard. And there's a little scuff there. It's not too bad. So they must have hit a post or hit something here. Something's happened on that. But apart from that, the bodywork is in good condition, really, for the age of the vehicle. So when I took it for a test drive, there was a screeching noise coming from one of the brakes. So I don't know if it was to do the brake disc and pads, because they a bit rusty now because they've been sitting around, but they weren't too bad. I'm wondering if it's to do with the brake calipers. Can you see how rusty those brake calipers are? I wonder if it's to do with them. But I'll get my mechanic to do a safety check and check all that out. It doesn't have much left in terms of an MOT. I think MOT runs out in August, so I need to get a new MOT on it. Yeah, 12th of August it runs out, so I'm going to get a new MOT, and then we will see what comes from the MOT. There were advisories on the last MOT, which were the front two tyres and an anti-roll bar linking joint, I think it was. So we get those done as well. Jump in the car and we'll look at what service history we have for the car. So I was told it's got a full service history when we went to view the car, before I went to view the car, I should say. On the V5 we've got 3 previous owners, which is nice and low. I was told it was 2, but turns out there's 3, so it's one of those things. And in terms of service history, got a wallet there of receipts, MOT receipts, and some of the service receipts as well. And in terms of what we've got in the book, we have, so it's a 2014 car. We've got 2015 Vauxhall main dealer. You've got 16. Got a massive gap there between 16 and then we've got 21. This is when the previous owners bought the car, so they've had it from 2021. So they serviced it 21, and it just had a service in 22. So I'll get it serviced, get it MOT'd, do a safety check, make sure it's all good. We will let it go with a advisory free MOT. Let's just pop the hood and see what you guys think of the engine bay. There we go. all seems to be as expected. To be fair, coolant was at the right level, engine oil was at the right level, engine oil looked pretty clean. Seeing it had a service last year in June, so yeah, I think this should turn out to be a good piece of stock. Just need to work out how to fix the window motor and see what issues with the brakes, see what comes out in terms of MOT. You never know, could be a nasty surprise that comes out from the MOT and it turns out to be loads of costly repairs. But every car you get is to a certain extent a gamble, and it's just making the right decision and making a calculated gamble, I guess, to see if you can make a bit of a margin and a bit of profit on the car. It's got a nice, got to mention, it's got a sunroof, so it's a nicely spec'd car. Heated seats, heated steering wheel, reverse parking sensors, front parking sensors, cruise control. Should turn out to be a nice piece of stock and a nice car for someone. So drop a comment down below, let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you guys think of the car. 3 previous owners, 70-odd thousand miles. Needs a bit of body work done to it. Needs a mechanical check over. But seeing it's a automatic, a little mini SUV, hopefully turns out to be a nice quick seller. Right guys, so I've been busy going out buying stock rather than, as you can see there, I got loads of stock now. Rather than selling cars and putting up cars for sale, I've been having quite a few customers and ex-colleagues ask me for specific cars. So I had an ex-colleague who messaged me, was interested in that Peugeot 208, the white one that we sold really quickly. A car for his daughters. Either he wanted a Polo or a Golf. He wanted the blue A-Class, which is at the bottom down there, but the girls didn't like the colour, so they wanted, I think it was preferably a black Golf or black Polo. So I saw this one listed up for sale, local to Northampton. It's a diesel. He also wanted a diesel, so I saw this listed locally. Went to have a look. There was a bit of to and fro with me and the seller because there's a couple of issues with the car, or not issues as such, a few things that I needed to get sorted or addressed and clarified before I bought the car. But let's just have a look around the car. So it's a 1.2 diesel 2013 match edition spec. So it's a good level of spec, this one. Got your tinted rear and back window. Got rear parking sensors which work. Got a nice alloy wheels. So for someone who's just passed the test or learning to drive, it's a nice, really smart car. It's decent mileage, which we'll check out in a bit, and decent amount of owners. So let's go into the car and have a look around the car first. So the interior of the car is really nice and smart. It's really all in really good condition. Probably see from there. Going to the rear seats. Again, don't know that they've hardly been used. So it's a clean example in that sense. Going into the boot. It's nice, good condition. You've got a jack and all that stuff in there. No spare tyre though. So if my ex-colleague needs or wants a spare tyre in there, we can get a spare tyre then, that's not an issue. So let me just close the boot. Go through what we have and potentially what we don't have with the car. So decent mileage, 76,489. In terms of ownership, We've got 3 previous owners, so it's nice, decent amount of ownership for the age of the vehicle. With the handbrake is pretty high up, so I need to get my mechanic to have a look at that, so you can tighten up the handbrake. One nice thing about this one, we've got a Bluetooth adapter there, so that's good. So you can do your Bluetooth streaming, your calls and your audio, so that's a nice touch. The main thing with this car, it doesn't have any service history, unfortunately. Even though it's a really nice example, decent mileage, decent ownership, unfortunately there's no service history, so that in itself can potentially bring some issues. But I've test driven the car drives really nice. So what I'm going to do is get a service book from Volkswagen and get my mechanics to do a service on it. The MOT is running out within the next couple of weeks, so I'm getting a new fresh MOT on there, see if it comes out with any advisories, get an advisory free MOT, get the service done, get a safety check done, so it'll be good to go for my ex-colleague and make sure it's really reliable. So with this being a 1.2 TDI engine, it's not a chain driven engine, it's a cam belt driven engine. So seeing that there is no service history with the car, we had to make sure that either we need to do the cam belt, so obviously that affects the price of how much I'm buying it for and potentially how much I'm selling it for, or to check that the cam belt had been changed. So the previous owner, he got his mechanic down, had a look at the cam belt, and the cam belt is a Gates's cam belt, which isn't a cam belt that comes from factory, so it must have been changed at some point. The condition of the cam belt and all the pulleys and all of that seem to be in good condition. The seller did send me a picture of the cam belt and the condition of the cam belt, and it all looked good, so that's a plus point. So we don't need to worry about getting the cam belt done, because it seems like it has been done at some point in the car. It should have been at least done once, if not twice, on this car, so we know it's done, so that's good selling point. So all I will need to do now, get the MOT done, get a service done, potentially put a spare tire in the car, get a service book, get it serviced, and hopefully clip this to my ex-colleague. So keep watching, subscribe to the channel, share, like and comment, and we'll see how we get on with this one and the other cars that we have in stock.